Musk's new project opens up great investment opportunities for British citizens. No project has ever given such opportunities to residents of the country.
Now, point out, we are the ones who've put the word scam across the screen there. Lots of people will think Martin says repeatedly, publicly, he would never back something like this.
But they have said that. I don't normally make these endorsements, but this is unusual.
And you knew that because you know.
I said it to him.
You know that Martin Lewis doesn't do this, but still it hooked you in, didn't it?
It did. I think there was a multitude of different things, but I think the £200 on your credit card, straight away it says that the credit card will fight for you if you lose your money.
Right.
So that draws you in. And by the way, I did find out later on they didn't actually take any money from my credit card. That was the scam as well. They asked if you've ever done any spread betting or shares or anything like that. I said no, obviously. So again, they're determining whether you're the right person for this. My credit rating was very, very high at the time. Obviously, didn't know that, but it was very high. And banks were willing to lend me money because of that. And this is something that when you get these people involved, he used a thing called AnyDesk, an app called AnyDesk, which gives him access to your phone.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean, he just said that. See, basically, what he did, Susanna, he started off with a window that shows you a profit from your £200
on your screen.
On your screen, and every time you speak to him, you have to go. It's all on my phone. You have to go to the screen. Go to the screen, Darren. So you go to the screen and you see profit increases of £20, £30, £40. But if you invest your own money, it starts to go £100, £200, £300. It's rubbish because this screen was rubbish. It didn't exist.
No.
But that's when you think, I mean, I think it's human instinct probably to be greedy.
And this wasn't one. See, the thing is, this wasn't one phone call, or this.
This was
long,
like 2 or 3 weeks.
Darren, your dad. I mean, I know you were in the room with him.
Yeah.
When he's on the phone with this financial advisor.
You rode to the rescue, didn't you?
Yeah.
But for quite a long time, you were thinking, this isn't right. And when you said that to your dad, what did he say?
Well, I think we started coming to loggerheads with each other because obviously now he was invested into it. He doesn't want to believe that, it could be something false. But I was just getting suspicions. I mean, one time I'm sitting there and we're having a conversation in the lounge whilst this guy's on the phone. And immediately he started asking who I am, and I sort of saw a red flag because I was thinking, why is he so interested in who I am?
Right, this is another thing that scammers do, of course. They try and separate you from members of your family who might quite reasonably have scepticism and doubts. So the scammer on the phone wants to put a wedge between you and your son.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of worked to an extent.
He used family values as well. I've been a single parent for a lot of years, just me and my son. Somewhere he'd found that out. I'm a Man United fan. He knew more about Man United than Alex Ferguson himself. So somewhere he found that out. So he's using all these things to a friendship, basically. In the end, you find yourself wanting the phone call at 6 o'clock in the evening to speak to your mate Cole.
Oh my goodness.
That's
yes, I can see how it works.
And what were you saying to your dad then?
Well, I mean, I raised my concerns with him, and at first
what did you say?
It was just the little things that were popping up along the way. I'd just say to him, like, what do you think of this? Because I've noticed it. And at the time, I think you were just sort of thinking, I want to shut that out of my mind.
Well, I was too far in it, and I was just hoping and praying that it was genuine. I think that was my problem. But he did eventually
say... And your son telling you you're wrong is never a good thing to hear.
Well, he did eventually say, if you don't go to the bank, I'm calling the police on you.
Did he?
So, because I know this is wrong, I know it's a scam, and you need to get it sorted, Dad. And that's what we did, wasn't it?
It was like seeing someone you know in a toxic relationship. As an outsider, you can't understand how they can't see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So that was like our dispute. And then eventually we was just having a conversation, weren't we? And I think the penny just dropped.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. So you took out 4 loans as a result of this financial advisor scammer. With 4 separate providers totalling £70,000.
What they do, Susanna, they take some of your money to begin with, like £1,000. It goes away, I don't know where it goes, but it goes away out of your accounts, and then it comes back. And because it comes back, in your mind you think, they've used your money and it's come back.
Yeah.
So then they take 5,000, but 5,000 doesn't come back unless you can raise 10,000 with an email from Revolut Bank to say that if you want funds of £5,000, you need to invest £10,000. They said that their company would raise the £10,000 for me, and they gave me a guaranteed satisfaction certificate, which meant nothing at the end because there was no business number or anything. But it's all to make you believe that everything is genuine. And then on the last final day, that's when he raised 10,000, 20,000 and 30,000, all in 20 minutes, half an hour.
But you got out as loans. Look.
All in my name, yes.
So Meta, which owns Facebook, so we don't allow fraudulent activity and work closely with law enforcement to support investigations and keep scammers off our platforms. Clearly, either they do allow fraudulent activity, but not intentionally.
I saw 4 or 5 of them over the weekend. And now when I see them, I just move on, but you can see what they are.
So Facebook are getting scammed by these people as well.
Yeah.
So when anyone gets angry with
It's bloody Facebook doing
like,
it.
You know, how could you possibly fall for it? Well, Meta in a sense have fallen for it as well.
Yeah, of course.
Because if they say they don't allow fraudulent activity and fraudulent activity is happening on Meta, scamming you, then these guys are so manipulative that they're getting around the
They
big
are
tech
very,
companies
very
as
clever.
well.
They're so clever.
I think people often think scammer is like, you know, I'm walking down the high street and somebody tries to sell me a dodgy bottle of perfume or tries to pick my pocket. It's not individual people who are just a bit of a scammer. This is massive, organised, highly sophisticated criminal activity, and they know that 90% of the time they'll fail, but with a 10% where they succeed, they can make loads of money. But they are very, very skilled, and you have to be totally on your guard, don't you?
Martin has got in touch with us because, of course, you know, they're abusing his name, aren't they? And the trust we have in Martin Lewis. He says he's fed up with the UK's lack of action in taking these scammers down.
It doesn't just impact people's finances and their financial futures. It impacts the entire way you feel about yourself when you've been scammed. And we are just not good enough. We allow this epidemic of scams in the UK to continue. All I can really suggest to people is you be aware that it's not regulated. It's a wild west, and therefore you have to protect yourself.
I mean, up against the big tech companies, it seems extraordinary still that we're saying it's down to you as an individual. How much money have you managed to get back from the banks that loaned you money?
The NBNA, which was the 20,000, they dropped the case, well, they cancelled the loan within the first 2 weeks.
Okay, that was a bit of a relief.
I never got a reason why, but I actually cried, believe it or not, 58 years old. But the Barclays closed both my accounts down because they're my bank. That was the £30,000 loan. They did cancel the loan, but there's other things involved in that the Ombudsman's dealing with. But Vanquist for 10,000, which is now 15,000, so the interest rate in a year has gone up £5,000. And Lendable have already sold it to a debt collecting company called Hampton.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just not sure we've got in touch with all of these companies.
So
yeah,
£27,000.
You still owe.
That's what I'm going to have to pay back. Yeah.
What advice would you give to our viewers if they see an advert or
anything like that at all? Just move on, because look, there's nothing in this world for nothing, is there? You can't get anything for nothing. So when these people are saying you just invest this and you get this, all I wanted was a couple of £100 for Christmas, because that's what I thought I was going to get, and it escalated into what it did. I was going to say through no fault of my own, but obviously it was my fault, because although I was coerced, I was still using buttons on my phone. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was doing it.
And maybe the other thing is, for us dads, when your 20-something son says you're making a mistake,
you listen.
Maybe you have to listen a bit more.
You listen, yeah. Well, I'm looking at bankruptcy, so at the end of the day, it's a lesson learned. So anybody else, if they're even thinking about it, don't do it. It's just not worth it.
Thanks for coming.